You know, I knew marijuana was in Colorado. I knew marijuana was in Pueblo when I moved there. But I didn't realize the extent that it was. When you go there, so we used to, there's an area they call the county out there that has all of these farms, little animal feed stores, hardware shops. You could go get an ice cream cone. I had a drive-in movie theater, really nice place. I loved riding my bike through there. And now there's a marijuana shop on almost every single corner. You run into those. And what we're seeing on the sort of on the boots on the ground standpoint when you're in the emergency department is now over half of my patients, so we routinely ask all of our patients if they smoke, if they drink alcohol, and then what other drugs they do. Over half of them smoke marijuana, and of those by far the vast majority smoke it. At least 4 to 5 joints are the equivalent of that every single day. To put this into perspective, so I trained at the University of New Mexico in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and we saw a lot of trauma. It's one of the best residency programs in the country because you get a great, trauma. We saw our fair share of drugs and all of that kind of stuff down there. Within my third day, it was my third day here, I saw a 20-something-year-old kid who had infective endocarditis, which is where bacteria will grow on heart valves. And it will then break off the heart valves and go to the brain and the lungs. It's from injection drug use. But he had that, and I was, again, my third day out of residency, and now putting in a central line and what's called an arterial line, so big lines to save their life, and finally got a CAT scan, and he had emboli all over his brain, all throughout his lungs, and then died 2 days later in the ICU. That's crazy. I had never seen that at the, big level 1 trauma center, academic center. And whether that's related to marijuana, I really don't know how much I can say specifically, but I've never seen so many cases of IV drug abuse problems, and infective endocarditis being one of those. And on top of that, the amount of just psychiatric cases that we're dealing with in a town the size of Pueblo is crazy. And of those, although I don't have a specific data to prove this, I'll bet close to 100% test positive for cannabis. If you can picture this is somebody coming in and most people don't have the clear definition of what it means to be psychotic. That means screaming uncontrollably, taking multiple security guards to hold you down and strap you to the bed, sometimes coming in with a spit mask on. And you have, the nice little old lady next door who might be having a heart attack or a stroke or whatever else she's having is now coming to her door to look and see what's going on because there's somebody just screaming absolutely uncontrollably. And I wish I could tell you that was an isolated experience.
Wow.
That happens, to say daily may be a stretch, but every other day that somebody's being brought in a spit mask and needing to be held down because they're completely psychotic is probably almost daily.
Wow. And is that, are those patients specifically then, do they self-report that they've been using marijuana?
So by policy, everybody who gets a psychiatric evaluation has to have a drug screen because they want to know what influences are causing that behavior, because we need to assess them. Are you having underlying schizophrenia? Are you having some other underlying thing that might be causing that we need to get you to a psychiatric treatment for? And again, without having specific numbers, close to 100% of those are testing positive for cannabis. Now with that, they're also having high alcohol levels, having methamphetamine, cocaine, LSD, you name it. I've seen it down there, and certainly all those things are contributing to the amount of psychosis, but there's quite a number of them who are just on, that's all it tests positive for is cannabis out of all of that.
Wow.
When I left Pueblo 13 years ago, Pueblo was ranked on several lists as I think it was the number 5 best place to raise a family in the entire country. It really was. When I grew up there, I used to leave my house. I used to ride my bike all the way from my house all the way to the mall, and I never thought a thing of it. We would go, there's a river trail that goes all along the Arkansas River. Pueblo's an amazing place to live. There's now, fast forward 13 years later, when I'm back to my hometown, I went back to it because I like Pueblo. It was just barely ranked the number 19th worst city to live in the country. And to go from the number 5 best place to raise a family to the 19th worst place to live in the country is one of the saddest things that's ever formed. And maybe there's other things that have factored into this. Certainly there probably is. But what I see is a sudden increase in the number of marijuana shops, a change in the people who were living there. So now we used to never see anybody on a street corner with a sign begging. It wasn't there. They're on almost every street corner now. It's changed my home.